Hey, what's up, guys? Have you ever forgot something? I know I've asked this question probably 100 times before, but I'm asking it again. And if you did, it's not necessarily because you have a bad memory. Maybe there's some trouble with your working memory, not on a clinical level, but more so you can make it better. But you're probably asking, Nick, what's working memory? It's kind of in the word. Working as in manipulating information in real time, needing to use it to rationalize, make decisions, make thoughts, process, react. And then memory, accumulating the thoughts of what you need to do, recalling information to make something happen. So when it comes to working memory, look at it as almost like that 1 rep max load that you use in, say, fitness. The bigger that capacity is, the more you're able to probably do more work. So if I can bench press 500 or squat 600 pounds, that's a lot, right? Then I probably can do 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds even, multiple times. And that's how working memory is, because the more capacity you have, the easier it is to manipulate information, meaning taking this information that could be doing equations, spelling bee, it could be playing a sport, doing a proposal for your job, or just thinking on the fly. All that is encapsulated by working memory. It's a part of everything we do. Even listening to me right now, that's working memory, because you're processing what you hear, making sense of it, consolidating it so it can be stored long term. So let's talk about the different components. So let's look at working memory as a business. So I'm going to pull out my little whiteboard here, or blackboard, I should say, and I'm going to draw this out as we go along. So let's put that up on the screen. Okay. So the first part of it, we're going to call it the central executive. So look at the term executive. Think about like a business. So the central executive, this is who's in charge. Think of it like the CEO. In a business, the chief executive officer runs everything. Obviously, there's a team, and we're going to get to that, but the CEO makes the final say. It consolidates the different parts of the team, makes it go around, make sure it stays in line, and make things run accordingly. And that's how the central executive is. Now, it has different, what we call slave systems that help facilitate how you take in information, process, and make you do what you do. So one of them is called the Visual Spatial Sketchpad. Now, this you can talk about more so visual, as in the name, what you see, how do you make sense of the actual things you take in visually. Now, the next one's called the phonological loop. So this is auditory. It's what you hear, right? That's a phonological loop. And the third one we'll talk about is the episodic buffer. So think about buffer is something that makes the transition of other systems. Now, with the Visual Spatial Sketchpad, think of it almost like a picture-in-picture. You're seeing in your mind's eye, visualizing inside your own head what's happening. Now, I'll use a sports analogy. So let's say you're a quarterback. You're dropping back for a pass. You see the defense coming for you. It's unfolding in real time. That's what's happening. And this is where working memory thrives, because now you're making sense to the play around you. That real-time information, that cognitive load, like I mentioned, is adding up, and you need to make a decision. But wait, you're seeing this all unfold, but you also know where the play is going. You know that this receiver's running this route, the running back's blocking you, the tight end's going this way. Whatever the play is set to do, that's in your long-term memory, but you're also mixing what's happening in real time, and the play can change, and maybe that receiver's not open like he's supposed to be. Or maybe he is open and you see that blown assignment by the defensive player and it's a touchdown. Whatever it is, you got to be able to make sure it unfolds in real time. So when you see that play develop, see X's and O's, just like in football, right? Now, typically X's is one side, O's is the other side, but you get the point. Now the quarterback, he drops it back. He sees a play going this way. That's out. It's wrong. Nope. He has to say, you know what? I think I have a man going this way. He throws the ball, catches it, touchdown. That's working memory from the Visual Spatial Sketchpad. It's making sense from a mental map of what you're seeing in your mind's eye. Another way you can see it is like someone describing directions. If I say, hey, make a left at the lights, then you're going to see a red building. After you see the red building, keep going straight for about 3 miles, and it's right there. As you're hearing this, you're visually seeing that map out in real time in your mind. Now, see, I said you're hearing it and then you're seeing it. You're like, wait, Nick, you're talking about the Visual Spatial Sketchpad. What about the phonological loop? That's how they tie together, because you're hearing one thing. Now that's how you remember something in real time auditorily. So let's say, for example, I'll give you my phone number, 954-708 8792. Now we have iPhones, iPads, cell phones of all kinds. You can just type it right in. But back in my day, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to know you didn't always have the convenience of just storing it immediately in your phone. You had to remember it in your head and you could write it down on a piece of paper. And then when you went to call that person later that day, you would dial it off of that piece of paper. That's how we used to do it. You're like, man, how old are you, Nick? Like, bear with me though. So when we had to do that, we had to say it over and over, 954-708-8792, 954-708-8792, until we could make that telephone call. Hello, is Johnny home? Then we'd talk to Johnny, and it's all good. But the thing is, your brain has to keep saying it, and you're able to make sense of it in your auditory sense in your mind and say, what do I do with this information? So I can either communicate it to, oh, this is a set of tasks I need to do, or this is how I illustrate it visually, because they both play hand in hand. So it's not necessarily one or the other. And that's a video working memory that you're utilizing all these different parts. Now, the other aspect we didn't mention is the episodic buffer. So I like to say this is like the highway exit ramp of your brain, because you got to get off the exit sometime, right? So that's supposed to be a highway. Excuse my design, but that's the exit ramp. So it has to get off right here. So how that works is it's toggling between where you need to be from, say, your long-term memory, that storage of, okay, what do I already know about what's happening? Because that still plays a factor. We need to set the tone. We need to have a perception of what's going on. But the working memory comes into effect because this is happening in real time, and we need to manipulate what we know with what we're learning to put it all together. Because if I know, hey, typically, let's use sports again, this team always blitzes, meaning sending all their players in to tackle me, I'm the quarterback, on third down. I know that. That's in my long-term storage. But let's say that doesn't happen on this play. Do I just sit there and wait? Oh my gosh, you're going to tackle me? Or do I adapt and say, oh no, they dropped the man back in coverage. Instead, I got no receivers open. Let me just hit a pop pass to my running back and takes it in for a touchdown, or whatever, gets a first down. It doesn't have to be a touchdown every time. But that's where the episodic buffer comes in, because now it's communicating this information of, what do I do with the old long-term storage and make sense of it and transfer it to the short-term, what's happening now, and vice versa, taking the short-term information and bringing it back to be consolidated for long-term storage. So it has multiple factors. And also when we talk about the visual spatial sketchpad and the phonological loop, how you take information visually and then make sense of it in your head auditorily, or vice versa, hearing someone say something and making sense of your head visually. So this is all happening in mere seconds, right? I'm saying a lot. This video is obviously more than mere seconds, but all this is transpiring. That's why the brain is so amazing. So using these different examples, you can see how working memory is definitely something that we need to work more on. And there's different ways to do this. With Mind Body One, we have different tasks, different programs. You need to check those out. So make sure you visit our website for those that can help you build up your executive function, especially working memory, because we pride ourselves on building the best working memories, whether it's our pro athletes, our military, or just our corporate warriors, because building this up will make you better at what you do. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you check out the rest of our videos. If you like this one, comment, subscribe, and as always, get your mind right.